Well, Sonic, unless if you use the spin dash in order to go bypass these brambles, oh, no way in hell, Mario, because they might just trying to poke me like nothing else. Hey everybody, this is me, Mario here, and I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here. We're back from the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did done the first half of World 5, even though the brambles might actually constantly blocking our pathway till we actually get into the other levels to go. So today for this episode we're about to be hopefully finishing up World 5 up. So yeah. Assumingly enough that after we actually finish World 5, something will actually get us bit of a easier side of things, but we'll explain more on that until we actually get into it. So, without further ado, we're not going to go down into that 1-up house because obviously these brambles are blocking it. So instead, we can actually go ahead and just get into the ghost house level first, because that will actually tell us where we actually go in there first in this video. So, here we go then. On to the third ghost house level in this game we go. So, much like the previous ghost house levels, contains 2 exits. So, we'll go for the secret exit first, so just to get this out of the way. So, the secret exit in level 5 ghost house, all you have to do is just basically follow those coins, assuming that you need to actually go all the way to the far right, jumping over bottomless pit, or the pits rather, or even except for this one. So, if you think that you might find a secret exit, well, if you walk through this wall here, if you see that little door is being shown up, that's where it's located. So, but before you actually get into the secret exit, we need to come across into these light block moving platforms. And if you somehow make it there, well, assuming if you actually time your jumps carefully and whatnot, especially you don't want to let these little light blocks lights out, some of them at a time. But usually all you have to do is just basically just be very, very, very extra careful. You don't want to accidentally fall down to the bottomless pit, because if you do, you have to restart the whole level again. So again, because you know, ghost houses doesn't contain checkpoints, so yeah. Oh, here's those Boo Buddy circular things in Super Mario World. Yeah, it did bring some of the elements back from this game's ghost house wise, like, you know, as you can see that right there, these boos are actually spinning around in a circle. So yeah, it does makes it like a comeback from Super Mario World. Yeah, we do like that actually. And then once we find a secret exit in that level, then we actually access to the I think this is cannon number 5. So expecting that in the original New Super Mario Bros. Game that we actually got about 5 cannons, but so far in this game we actually got 5 cannons. So, does that mean that might contain another one eventually? I don't know, we'll just see what happens eventually. So, now all you have to do is basically find some star coins. The first star coin, all you have to do is just basically go into this door at the very beginning, and assuming if you actually traverse for the level itself, or in this case, this little section of the level, so even then though, using the light block in this level is really, really handy. If you go here, assuming if you actually come across into undiscoverable invisible walls or something like that, then there you go, there's the third star coin. Now the second star coin, all you have to do, much like what we did for finding the secret exit, but except that we have to go ahead and go down to this pit here, even though you're still perfectly safe because thanks to that platform that you've landed on. And head to that door here, and this will actually reach us to the water section. Even then though, you can kill these bone fins, as you can see with the usage of the light blocks, so yeah, that's actually pretty clever to actually deal with these guys in the first place. But even then though, you can't just deal with these bone fins with just fireballs, so instead you just have to use the either a light block or anything, so yeah. So there's the second star coin, and now for the third and final star coin, where we're gonna have to basically figure out where the heck is the third star coin is gonna be. So you know where these coins you have to follow, although before you do anything else, we have to go into this little door not on the left, but on the right, specifically on that spot. And then basically we come across into this circular boost, much like the secret exit. So yeah. even though you still can't kill these boosts. For some reason, they do not they do not actually kill itself when they're actually killed on light. But there you go, there's the third and final star coin. Now, in order to get the regular exit, it's basically follow the trail of coins, and once you come to the far right, not into these bunch of doors, it's basically more likely a labyrinth or something like that. But that's just to us anyway. That you must figure out where the doors actually takes you to. Like this door, for instance, that actually leads us to the normal route of the normal exit. And basically what we can do in this section here is that you see these little regular brick blocks. They'll start to go either up or down. So, you know. So then, a few things we want to mention about something is that recently, I believe it's on yesterday, I think, that along the same time as we actually did upload the previous part of this, is that recently we've now finally completed ourselves the next Zelda game, which was The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. But even then though, I think we already mentioned that anyway, but usually the only hardest part I found sometimes is the rabbit catching, and to be honest, rabbit catching is by far the hardest part of The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. But usually that's what I think about it. Yeah. I think what the biggest prime example is the timing aspect of the catching the net, or tossing the net. But usually there are a grand total of 50 of them, right? Yeah, I think there are 10 in each realm, but then basically what you have to do is basically just catch a rabbit within 10 freaking seconds. If you didn't catch it once, it'll just flee off, and then in order to actually re-catch it, in order to actually attempt to do that again, this meaning that you have to get into the other train station and then just have a rest there, and then essentially you can go back into the train exploration, and that's how you essentially do it. That is by far the tedious quest in the game, to me anyway, because I would totally agree on to Zelda Master, although, to be honest, although finding the rabbits are not so hard, but trying to catching them is by far the dumbest or the toughest thing ever. But I digress though. Alright, on to level 5-5, where the main gimmick on this is that it takes place in the skies. And basically we have to ride on into these manta rays, as you can see right here. So, they don't normally harm you that much though, we gotta admit though. But the only time that you might able to look out for is the fact that the bullet bills might come from the right. And then if you see that manta ray is dipping down, this means you have to go up to that platform up there. So, yeah, that's all you're literally trying to do. And if you approach to this part here, then we actually come across into a power block right down there. Whatever when we first time playing this game, that we have no idea what the power block was actually there, or clipped from the floor or whatnot. But it turns out that later on, during that where we actually did manage to redo this in our own time, then we managed to find out there's going to be a visible hole which actually leads us to the power block throughout. So yeah, that's how we actually found out in the beginning parts, or in this case earlier on throughout the I forget. So, yeah. And another thing we'd like to talk about is that, recently, that, 4 days ago, actually, that, recently, that Nintendo of Europe actually reveals some news in, the next screenshots of, oh yeah, before we get into that, in order to get the third and final star coin, I believe much like how it does in level 5-4, you see these coins at the top when they're pointing downwards? Yeah, toss the power block and then that's how you get it. So yeah, not too difficult. So anyway, they actually revealed some new, more information on Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games on the Wii U, finally, thank God. Even though they talk about like 2 months since after the Nintendo Direct, I think last time the Nintendo Direct actually done is actually, 3rd of March. But still, no sign of the new one yet. Expecting that in next month it will be like at E3 2016 or something like that. Okay, the brambles are blocking the pathway, but before we get into the castle itself, we have to grind for some super mushrooms. while actually facing off against with these enemies here. So yeah, we'll be seeing the other new screenshots of new Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games on the Wii U. We were super excited about that, to be honest with you. But there's one major downside of the Wii U version of the game, although we will explain more on that later. But and as well, some new information about the game is actually going to be revealed. Like, take for instance, there's going to be, at the moment, 17 events. Not quite a lot compared to Sochi 2014 and especially the London 2012 installment, but usually that's all there is to it when it comes to actually just, you know, doing with the later sequels and whatnot or something like that. But, as well as from that though, you know in the 3DS version of Rio 2016 Olympic Games, as far as the roster department, it only contains like whopping 40 playable characters, excluding 41 for the Miis. But however, the Wii U version, however, it decreases 10, which for some reason, although I think it's not confirmed just yet, but it's so far 30 playable characters as far as so far as is concerned. But normally that we get like Toad and Boom Boom as a newcomer to the Mario and Sonic series. So we expect that we'll actually see Toad and Boom Boom in gameplay in action. So yeah, that's all we can notice that. And as well as they actually put in some new screenshots of the rather very different main menu of the game compared to the 4 installments in the console department. That unlike the you remember how in the 4 installments in the Mario and Sonic series there gets like a little clicking menu part? Well, I'm pretty sure that in Rio 2016 I think it might actually contain a different main menu, which were, take for instance, very similar to Nintendo Land, where you actually walk around and just interact with everybody and then just get to the mode itself. I think that's what we're going for here, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know just yet though, until when we get to next month, that we're actually going to be revealed some of the gameplay footage of it, eventually. Yeah, expecting the E3 2016 appearances too. So yeah, alongside with the other Zelda game as well. So yeah, it's not that long though until when it's actually finally being released, so don't worry, we will expect that to be coming. Anyway, here we are at level 5-Castle, where, as you probably expected, that the main gimmick of this level here is the fact that we're actually going to be riding on cages once again, but this time that we're going to go across these lava. And as well as that, we actually come across into these circular rotation cages. So, you see why, and although you probably already see it by now. So, yeah. So anyway, as far as we can consider that, much like World 2 Tower, that we're gonna have to dodge these little magic spell projectiles. Like, as you can see, we're gonna have to dodge the Iggy's magic spell. So, if you do get hit by that, you'll probably lose a power-up or anything, so... Or if you die, if you actually become smaller form in variation. So yeah. Just be careful for the most part. Even then, though, we found this level to be really easy, though. Much like the other levels entirely that we actually breezed through entirely. Oh god, Plotaboos. Seriously, Plotaboos? Ah, we got hit. Oh, this isn't good. But at least we got a Super Mushroom now. No, I believe after we actually obtain a checkpoint, that Iggy will actually spews out some 2 more projectiles at you. So you have to be very, be more accurate at points. So, yeah, if we push down here, then we actually get ourselves a power-up, like a Propeller Mushroom. Hooray! We love that power-up, don't we? And we actually got these checker bounty blocks. It always kind of reminds us about the minigame reference to Mario Party 9's upward mobility, or expecting the bounce and trounce in Mario Party Island Tour, but except it has like yellow checkerboards instead. Alright, on to the second rematch of Iggy Koopa, and hopefully World 5 will actually be done and over with. Alright, so what's Chemix gonna use the spell this time around? Oh my god, the chain jump is actually growing really big. So yeah, all you do here is by basically just go after Iggy when he was actually riding with the Chain Chomp right there. Now, occasionally the Chain Chomp will actually go a bit further away from you, so you have to be very, very careful with him. Especially noticeable even then, especially noticeable when there's Iggy's spells that you also have to dodge. So after when he comes back though, then you should be able to actually deal with this boss no problem. So yeah, get back you, Iggy. And there we go. And the Chain Chomp gone off loose there. Expected that we don't jump, but we actually try to obtain the key. But at least the key actually comes down when Mario stands there and do nothing. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that I don't think we're going to set an airship level in World 5. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, once you finish World 5 up, these Brambles, if you probably mentioned earlier, now they're gone. So now you can actually walk around the world map without even just go ahead and backtrack for a bit. So that's a huge plus. Yes, excluding if you actually missed out some of the levels throughout. So here we are in World 6. And the Koopaling for this world is Molten Koopa Jr. I'm pretty sure you fight him on, I'm pretty sure it's in World 2 Desert Land. In Super Mario Bros. 3. So, yeah, before we end things off, we once again have to go ahead and deal with the cannons. So let's start out with World 3. Yeah, expected that it's gonna be a enemy course is gonna be triggered. In fact, it doesn't trigger it in here, thankfully. So let's hop into that cannon here. And let's see what this cannon takes us. And if we remember rightly, that it actually takes us to World 6. So, yeah. There's one more thing we have to mention about this game is that once you actually first time playing the game, you do have an option that says like quick save. If you somehow triggered that, assuming if you're actually almost done with the game, then if you actually get into the file selection screen, that will actually allow some players actually has a balloon Mario on here, and assumingly the M balloon, which sure enough that will actually means is that you're actually saving. You think you're saving your progress. Ah, darn it! I don't have time for you, but unfortunately Sonic will have to. Yeah, I apologize for that, folks. It's just that basically sometimes that you have to come across into these enemy courses until you actually backtrack to some of these worlds. Although there's another thing we'd like to point out that there was actually a visibility star that you can actually also use in the world map. But if you use that, that will actually clear out the enemy's block passage or something like that. So yeah, that will be pretty handy. We'll show this off when we actually do the later part of the game. So yeah, expecting that we'll actually go ahead and do that just for a bit. I don't think you can actually walk from far right though, Sonic, because everything is all in block, so it stays like in that position. So yeah, World 4 cannon also leads us to World 6. So yeah. So yeah, as far as when this world is considered, that it was actually a mountain theme level. I really love this music that's been playing in the world map, but we'll explain more on that when we actually get into the next video or something like that. So yeah, we'll actually go ahead and say right now we have to finish this video here. So next time on Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the fact that we go ahead and do World 6. So yeah, we're almost done with the game. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later fellas, see you then.